Yo, what is going on, Who Dat Nation? Welcome into another live edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, I'm your host, Trizzy Trace Girouard. I got my guy, Nick Lopez, back on the ones and twos. Loco Lopez is back and better than ever. We're going to be live here on the channel for the next, 45 minutes, about an hour, discussing the latest around the NFL, news, rumors around the Saints. Chris Olave, we got some updates around there. Could Trevor Penning be on the way out? We're going to be discussing all of this and then a little bit more here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. At the very end of the live show, we're going to be getting into a live Q&A. So if you guys have questions or hot takes that you want tens of thousands of Saints fans to see, be sure to use hashtag Saints or send in a super chat and we'll get you on the program. But welcome into Saints Now. Let's get some shout-outs going in the comment section. If you want a shout-out, type Stay Golden. It's a little tagline here at Saints Now by Chat Sports. And I will give you a shout-out on the show. What up, Brent? Mr. Filmer, what's going on with you? Good question there, Mr. Filmer. X-Woos, stay golden. Jerkavius, stay golden. Jarrell, stay golden. Nola Gang, stay golden. Hey, looks like we got a good crew out here. X-Woos also saying this is the best Saints news channel. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for saying that. Nola Gang, Jerry G, Chawanda, all typing stay golden. Glenn says, Trace, stay golden. You stay golden too, my friend. Mr. Filmer, Sam Brown says, call me Pony Boy because I stay golden. I love it. Brett saying, stay golden, Pony Boy. Sammy Bizzle, what's happening? We got Michael, stay golden. Sam, if you're not there, come back. Or if you are still there, come back. Sorry. Literally the comment after yours was stay golden, Pony Boy, which is electric. Electric factory. So you got Sammy Bizzle right here. He's in the chat and he's in person. Then Brent, stay golden, Pony Boy. Great minds think alike.
Brent's a great name.
It's a great name.
That's a good old-fashioned
That exactly. Brent's get shit done. Jarrell, better than those Falcons, stay golden. What's going on? Arvin, what's up, brother? Con, you stay golden too. Con asking where I am in Louisiana. I am not in Louisiana. I am in Dallas, Texas. We are emanating at the Chat Sports Studios in downtown Dallas. I am from the Dallas, Texas area. I grew up in Plano, went to college at Arkansas, and moved back here after graduation. Been working at Chat Sports since fall of 2021. Never claimed to be from Louisiana, but I love the state, and anytime I get the opportunity, I try to make it out there. Chase says Chris Olave is getting traded. No, he's not, Chase. We're going to talk about it here in the show. Con saying, what? Yeah, crazy concept. You can be a fan of a team from a different state. Isn't that wild? Isn't that insane? And that's crazy. It's so what? It's so nuts. Michelle saying he just wishes he was a NOLA boy. Hey, I would love to be from New Orleans. I'd love to be from live in the state, but hey, don't sleep on Texas. I will not allow any Texas slander. Texas is a great state. It's a great place. And for what it's worth, Texas and Louisiana kind of like cousins, if you ask me. Right, Lopez?
Don't listen to Michelle. He wishes he was a NOLA boy.
I do wish I was a NOLA boy. It's the first thing I said. I wish I was a NOLA boy. But damn proud to be from the great state.
It's a great time. Love.
Jamil saying, bro, you know ball. You're my favorite. Appreciate you, Jamil. Thank you, man. Girouard, why the Saints don't hire Drew Brees to be a quarterback whisperer? Because he doesn't want to be hired to be the quarterback whisperer. NSM saying, I just left New Orleans. I miss it already. Yeah, every time I go to the city, I always hate when I leave. It's like seeing a pretty girl at the bar. Hate to see her go, love to watch her leave. But it's this situation. It's hate to see her go, also hate to see her leave because, you don't ever want to leave. You love her when she's around. You hate it when she's gone. Exactly. All righty, pick a quarterback for me. Which quarterback will start week 1? Keith, I never said Texas is like New Orleans. I said Texas is awesome. I said I like New Orleans, but I'm from Texas. Jaden, he can see your chat he can see you messaging in the chat. Who do you think will be the starter week 1? Pick a quarterback for me. Tyler Shough, Spencer Rattler, or Jake Hayner. Sam Brown typing DC for Derek Carr. You're funny, Brown. You're funny. You're a funny guy. Full of jokes, aren't you, Sam? Yeah, somebody give Sam some work to do. He's clearly not that busy. Lopez's words, not mine. Sam needs to do some big cams or something.
Sam, I know there's some short work that can be done out there.
Shut up, Lopez.
There's some short work
Shut up, there. Lopez. We got Randy Lemoyne in the chat. What's going on, Randy? Hope you are doing well, my friend. I see a bunch of people saying Spencer Rattler. I see a handful of people showing love to Randy. Shout out to Randy. Spencer Rattler and then Tyler Shough from H. Marcel. We got Hayden and Michael saying Tyler Shough. Zane, what up, Trace? What did I miss? Nothing yet. We're still in the build-up portion of the show. We're going to be getting into the substance and into the content, the meat and potatoes, if you will, here in just a moment. Jade, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I hope you are doing well, too. Chawanda saying Tyler Shough. Mark saying Spencer Rattler. Rattler has the most upside of the three from Woodsy. Zane says Spencer Rattler. Greg says TB, LOL. Are you saying Tom Brady? What up, Trizzy? From Queen Courtney. Queen Courtney, what's up, girl? Get the crown emojis in the chat. The Queen is here. The Queen has blessed us with her. Queen Courtney and King Randy have blessed us with their presence today. Larry, what's going on? I'd like to see Shough, but Spencer working out with Patrick Mahomes. That is true. He did work with Patrick Mahomes. Kyron, hope you're doing well, my friend. Brent, Randy is going back to Cali. That's funny. Jules, Rattler, Def got the most upside until Tyler Shough shows what he can do. I think that's a totally fair way of putting it, Jules. Right now, like week one, right now as it stands, Tyler Shough may not actually be the week one starter. Spencer Rattler could be more ready to start week one, like right now as it stands. However, that doesn't mean Tyler Shough won't be the starting quarterback a few weeks later. So I think it's a fair way of putting it. Travis, good to see you, brother. King Williams, thank you, my friend. Saying, turn on those noties. I love the quick updates. Hey, King Williams knows ball. He's a real one. Fist bump to you, King Williams. Fist bump, brother. All righty, it's showtime. Enough beep-bopping around, enough shiesties, enough fugazis. We're going to get into the content. But first, we have 137 people watching, 24 likes. Can we get to 60? Can we get to 60 freaking likes? Maybe 69? That'd be pretty cool. I mean, 69 likes would be absolutely hysterical. And that wouldn't even be halfway of the viewer participation. We always shoot for 50%. If you can help us get to 50%, we're sitting pretty. 30 likes, we got to get to 60. Help your boy out. Hit the thumbs up icon if you're ready for showtime. It's showtime. Like Spike, baby. Mere Comment knows what's up. Like Spike. That's a message there. That's a message there, Lopez. Like the Fwiggin video. That's hysterical. That's pretty funny. Mad Drummer, what's going on, brother? Higher Motivation says hit the like button. When you like the video, if you have done it already, type me in the comment section because I want to give a shout out to all 52 of you who have hit the thumbs up icon. King Williams, give me a fist bump back. That's my guy right there. That's my guy. What a legend. Jaden typing me. Kyron typing me. Queen Courtney. Jaden. Cornell. Derek. Anthony. Sean. Greg. Hunter. Nola Gang. NSM. David Charlie, excuse me. Michelle, what's going on, Michelle? It's been too long, Michelle. It's been too damn long. It's so good to see you, girl. I hope you're doing well. I know that you had some stuff going on with your family and with your life a little bit ago, but just wanted to say it's good to have you back. We love having our golden gals. Queen Courtney, Michelle, it's always a great day to have the golden gals in the chat. And then, of course, King Randy, too. Randy's liked the video. We're one like away. Who's got it? Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? Come on. One more like. Braden, Jules, Nariah says, I'm a new supporter. Nariah, thank you for joining the family. Thank you for joining the Golden Gang. Higher Motivation. Trizzy is the man. No, you're the man. Or the woman. I'm assuming you're the man. Michelle, wow. Hey, clap it up for Michelle. Here's what I'm going to do for you, Michelle. A water toast to Michelle for 4 months of sobriety. Shout out to you. Water toast for Michelle. Hydration is key to success. Congratulations, Michelle. That is no, seriously, that's awesome. Really, really proud of you, Michelle. That is really good stuff. I know that's a hard battle to fight. I know people very close to my life who unfortunately have lost those types of battles. So just want to give you a water toast. Hey, Michelle, solidarity. Hey, y'all can drink. Solidarity. I got you. Today, no booze for Michelle. We're doing water chugs only for our girl because she's a legend. So water cheers to you, Michelle. I'm going to take one more sip just because why not? Water toast for Michelle. Cole asking, what about Hunter Deckers? So actually, fun fact, I made a little video earlier today, and I had a pretty hot take around Hunter Deckers. A lot of people seem to have missed it because it was in the video, and people are like, you don't talk about Hunter Deckers. Here's me talking about Hunter Deckers. I think that he actually might beat out Jake Haener for the QB3 spot. Hot take! Go flame me in the comments. That's my hot take. Trizzy, that's so funny from Randy. I love it. Yeah, Mad Rummer, I hear the ice in that. Hey, can you hate the guy? It's a Yeti water bottle. This thing, I can't. Hold on. Let me see how much I can do this without it spilling. Yeah, we got ice, we got water. Hydration, baby. That's what Bobby Boucher would call high quality H2O. It was blessed by a medicine man in Alaska. We're going to get into a mailbag later on. A couple of people have already used hashtag Saints or Super Chat. But if you want to get your question on the show, the only way that it's guaranteed is if you use hashtag Saints. Better yet, you do send in a Super Chat. Hashtag Saints allows our software and our producer Lopez to be able to see your question. If you don't include hashtag Saints, we cannot put your question on the show. It's the software. It's not Lopez's fault. If you do send in a Super Chat, you skip the line. We spend a little bit extra time on your question, show you a bit of love, and you know what? We'll give you a water cheers for my girl Michelle. If you guys haven't already, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get into it. Saints content, important updates around a couple first-round picks. We're going to talk about that here in just a moment. Ad spun, what's going on? Stop it. Hunter Deckers was playing CC last year. I like him, but he's not more talented than Shough. He can take Rattler's spot and push him to quarterback 3. Well, ad spun, I would actually double down there and say, no, I think you're correct. He will not take Tyler Shough's spot. I actually think he takes Jake Hayner's spot as QB3 and Spencer Rattler's QB2. That's my hot take alert. So ad spun, I know you're going to probably have a fired up opinion around that. Let's get into it. Important updates on the first round picks, and then we're going to get into the latest news around the National Football League, and then after that, we're answering your questions. Use hashtag Saints, send in a super chat. If you send it in now, we'll guarantee that it gets on the show later. Hook your boy up. All righty, Lopez, whenever you're ready, let's get after it. Wait, hold on. Let's get tropical. You ever seen Semi-Pro? Any ball knowers in here? The Flint, Michigan Tropics. You have never seen it? Everyone boo Lopez. He's never seen Semi-Pro. Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl. Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl. The Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl. You don't know about the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl?
Unfortunately, I do not.
That's the.
It is like one of the movies I keep telling myself I need to watch. I haven't.
It's a great movie. It's so
I believe
funny.
that.
It's so
I
funny.
believe it.
Has name slipping me. One of the guys from Outcast. The name is slipping me, but he plays a character by the name of Coffee Black.
Andre 3000.
Awesome. I'm not going to spoil it, but his dreams come true, and then we have to see what happens afterwards. I don't want to spoil the movie. It's a great movie.
Is it Andre 3000? That's the only guy from
Yes, it is Andre
Outcast
3000. I was like, I'm having a hard time remembering the names. I heard a rumor of Andrew Luck. I didn't. Andrew Luck's been retired for longer than I've been out of college, so no. Yep, Randy, let's get tropical. All righty, enough beep-bopping around. Let's get into it. Saints news, rumors, and more coming at you. What's happening, Saints fans? Welcome into another edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. In today's video, this morning, we're diving into some important updates on some former first-round picks. A couple of years ago, the New Orleans Saints made 2 selections in round 1. They took Chris Olave and Trevor Penning in the first round of the NFL draft. So in today's episode, in addition of Saints Now by Chat Sports, we're going to get into a trade update around number 12. Big time updates, major news. Saints fans will be thrilled to hear in a moment. We're also going to discuss Trevor Penning. Is he on the way out? Could he get cut? Could he get traded? Or could he potentially be a starter? We're going to dive into this and then some here on Saints Now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So let's talk Chris Olave. Clap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Clap it up, because not only did we beat the case, we beat the case again. Trade rumors around Chris Olave have been put to rest again. How many times are we going to have this conversation? It feels like we have to have it with Alvin Kamara. It feels like we have to have it with Chris Olave. It feels like we have to have it with all of the players that other teams want. And I'm here to tell you right now, Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated, he had a little mailbag that a fan across the National Football League or from the NFL, he asked, hey, is there any truth to these Chris Olave trade rumors? Here's what Breer said. Plain and simple, no. The Saints got inquiries from the Browns and Steelers early in the offseason and rebuffed them. And Olave's had a really nice offseason since. Maybe someone blows New Orleans away with an offer, but he's not on the block. And I have a hard time thinking he's going to be traded. And if you're excited, Chris Olave staying in New Orleans, hit the thumbs up icon. Type those 12s. Show Olave some love. I know that him and his brother both watch the show. So I want to see this comment section flooded with support for our wide receiver one. I'm pumped up. The number 12 is staying with the Saints, and I hope you are too. In our live chat, I see Kyron, Derek, Cajun Cast, Chase, Cornell, Jerry G, Jules Taylor, and Queen Courtney all typing those 12s. For me, I just think it makes no sense at all to trade Chris Olave. I think it would be downright stupid. Excuse me. I think it would just be stupid for a plethora of reasons. The biggest one of all is the Saints lack depth at the wide receiver position. If you move off of Chris Olave, your top wide receivers are Rashid Shaheed and Brandon Cooks. Maybe Donovan Peoples-Jones. That's a name to add to the conversation. Maybe it's Bub Means. You know, it's just not great. It makes no sense to move off of Chris Olave. I think a trade would be stupid. And to be totally honest, when it comes to trading Chris Olave, I get why people want to trade for him, but it takes two to tango. So teams can want Chris Olave all they want. But if the Saints don't want to move off of him, which that's what it's looking like it's going to be, and that's the case here, that's what Albert Breer's reported, and that's what Kellen Moore has echoed, he's sticking around. And Kellen Moore shares that same sentiment. This was said a while back. This is not new information that the Saints want to keep Chris Olave. Chris is a phenomenal player, says Kellen Moore. He's had a huge impact on this team. And get this, he's going to have a huge impact this season. And like I said, I understand why teams want number 12 on their roster. He is a very, very good wide receiver. He is a very talented player. And he has a just insane skill set that is very, very sought after and very desired in the National Football League. And with Chris Olave, he is a player that has so many attributes that you can buy into now. The ball tracking skills, it's unbelievable. The body control, it's second to none. And he also has reliable hands, and maybe even to a fault. He sacrifices himself for the play. The dude loves football. He's a gamer. He's a baller. He is a dog. And this guy will keep barking as long as you let him. The big thing for me with Chris Olave is I want to see Kellen Moore scheme up plays that cater to him. Too often did we see Pete Carmichael and Clint Kubiak not get the football in 12's hands. I want to see Chris Olave be a factor. In the past couple of years, he's been solid. He is a proven 1,000-yard receiver when he's on the field and when he's healthy and when he has the ability to be a playmaker. So for New Orleans and for Kellen Moore, this is a two-way conversation. One, I want to see Chris Olave be a part of the future for the foreseeable future. The second part of it is I want to see Kellen Moore involve Chris Olave, because if you don't involve him, then keeping him around makes no sense. If you have no plans of using him, then trade him away. Fine. But that's not what the Saints are indicating. So I think, at least from a fan's perspective, we can get excited here because I believe Chris Olave will have a big impact. I believe Chris Olave is a good football player. And I believe that Kellen Moore sees the value in number 12 and wants to make him a big part of the offense. Now, we're going to get into some more content here around Trevor Penning, another first-round pick from a couple of years ago. But I got to ask you a question. Are you a real one or not? Are you a real fan? I mean, Lopez, I see a bunch of people in the chat saying yes. And what's crazy is not everyone who's saying that subscribed. So I have a hard time believing that you're a real fan if you're not subscribed to Saints Now. And, you know, you can maybe make a case in the comment section, argue that you are a real fan if you're not subscribed. But I'm here to tell you, if you want to be a diehard Saints fan that follows the Saints the right way, this is the channel to be at. Daily content by fans, for fans, every day, live shows. We're filming this as a part of our weekly Wednesday live show. It's a great stop, and it's a great place to get your Saints content. Join the family, join the Golden Gang, Saints Now by Chat Sports, sub for free content. Now, coming up, we're going to talk about Trevor Penning. Because I do think it's a conversation that we should have. Maybe the Saints decide to move on from Trevor Penning because it's fair to ask, what is his role moving forward? But really quick, got to give a big-time shout-out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is the #1 daily fantasy sports platform in not just North America, but the whole wide world, and that is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players on the ice in your Prize Picks lineup. Look, I'm not much of a hoops guy, but I love watching puck, so I'm going to go ahead and make some projections for the Dallas Stars who are taking on the Edmonton Oilers. The Stars are my hometown team. I'm a big fan of them. Shout out to my guy, Bergen Lamack. We go to a lot of their games, and he was one of my roommates. He's been a fan of the show and a friend of the show for a while, but not as big of a friend as Prize Picks. If you want to fade these picks, you want to tail these picks, I don't really care what you do. Just make sure you do with Prize Picks. I'm going with the more on Jake Ottinger's saves, the more on Matt Duchene's points. I need to see him get going here for the Stars if we want to bring the Stanley Cup back to Dallas. And on top of that, Connor McDavid, I'm going with the less because I'm trying to project the Stars to making it to the Cup so they can bring Lord Stanley home. Don't miss out on any awesome deals that Prize Picks has. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday and Flex Friday. Download Prize Picks today. Use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the bonus. It's guaranteed. All of that information is in the comments, description, and live chat of this video. So shout out to Prize Picks. Run your game. Alrighty, let's have a conversation here because I think it's about time we discuss whether or not Trevor Penning is on the way out here for the New Orleans Saints. And I think that the first thing that we should do in this conversation is take a look at how the offensive line is currently constructed, understanding that Kelvin Banks is listed as a tackle for the New Orleans Saints. So I believe the starting left tackle will be Kelvin Banks with Fuaga on the opposite side at right tackle. And Trevor Penning, you can see he is the backup to Fuaga. And there's been conversation. Do you kick him on the inside? Do you have him be a backup? Or maybe he's a swing tackle. Maybe he's swing tackle. Maybe he's the 6th guy in a jumbo set. So the conversation and the question that you have to ask is, what is Trevor Penning's role? Because if he beats out Dylan Radins to be the starting guard on the interior, then that's his role. He's a guard. But if you keep him at the tackle position, you have to define what the expectation and what his responsibility is this year. Because if he's expected to be a starting tackle and he's expected to play ahead of Kelvin Banks or Talise Fuaga, which makes no sense in my opinion, then he's going to need to step things up. But if he's going to be a backup, then I think that there's less pressure on him to develop at a much more rapid pace. And on top of that, I think that kicking him onto the inside would honestly just continue to hurt his development because that's another new position, a third new position that he's had to learn since joining the National Football League and being drafted. I'm just not in the camp of doing that to a player that, quite frankly, hasn't lived up to the first-round hype. And the career PFF grades aren't anything to run home about. For what it's worth, a bunch of those penalties that he has were not accepted. So, take that with a grain of salt. But in year 1, it wasn't really that great. But he had really solid run blocking reps. Year 2, struggled. Year 3, he had the most amount of snaps that he's had throughout his career. And you saw I would say, fair sample size. I mean, over 1,000 snaps. That was 10th across the National Football League and compared to tackles for the amount of snaps that they took. So for Trevor Penning, it hasn't been all good, but it also hasn't been strictly bad. He has shown development. He has shown improvement. I just need to see more. And for the New Orleans Saints, they're going to start their best 5 offensive linemen. So if Trevor Penning is a part of that equation, then expect to see Penning on the field. If he's not, then he'll probably just be a backup, which I think is the more likely route that they go with Penning, because why else would they have drafted Kelvin Banks Jr. number 9 overall if they had a ton of faith that Penning was going to pan out? Like, I think that this all points to Trevor Penning now just being a backup, Saints kind of eating swallowing their pride, eating the draft pick and saying, yep, we took a swing, did not hit. He's a backup, but that's A-okay. And for what it's worth, I think that's fine. Lopez and I are actually talking about this because, look, if Trevor Penning turns out to have a really good OTAs training camp period in a preseason, then you could actually see him potentially be on the field at the guard spot. I don't think it's going to be a tackle position. The other alternative is, look, maybe, just maybe, he's one of the top 6 offensive linemen in the league. Maybe he's one of the top backup offensive linemen. Maybe he's a player that can be a very high-level backup in case things go haywire due to injuries or anything like that. So for me, I wouldn't straight up cut Trevor Penning right now. Let's see how things pan out during training camp and the preseason and OTAs, because I think that's where we'll really get to see what this player is capable of again in this new scheme. But I also think that it doesn't make sense to cut Trevor Penning yet either, because look what happened last year to the offensive line depth. It got decimated due to injuries. So I'm in the camp of keep as much depth as you possibly can. And maybe, just maybe, Penning can be a really, really, really high-level backup. And also there is this possibility that maybe a team gets desperate. Maybe one of these teams has their top offensive tackle get hurt during training camp. Maybe OTAs or the preseason, they realize, oh, shoot, these guys are not as good as we thought. We need to panic. We need to scramble and get a guy. And maybe a team gets desperate and wants to trade for Trevor Penning. All in all, I don't think that's where things are headed. I ultimately think the Saints should keep Trevor Penning on the roster, but then, let him finish out his rookie deal. You didn't pick up his 5th-year option. Let him play out his contract and either A, bring him back next year on a cheap deal, or B, just let him walk. And that's okay. So what would you do with Trevor Penning? We've had this conversation. Would you keep him? Would you cut him? Or would you trade him? Type the letter in the comment section. And Saints fans, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. We appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling with us. Y'all stay golden. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Booyah. What would you do with Trevor Penning? Ethan saying go Stars. True. True. Courtney saying anyone but Florida. I don't care. Yeah. Well, hey, so fun fact, Courtney. Maddie, my girlfriend, her sister-in-law, so her brother's wife, is a diehard Florida Panthers fan. So if the Stars and the Panthers play each other, we're going to games. And it might get very ugly. Could get electric, too.
Can't imagine how you get during a Stanley Cup game. I saw how you got during the, what was it, Region, World, whatever the fuck they played.
What was that? The
Something of Nations?
The League of Nations? No, that's not it. The
tournament.
The Four Nations tournament.
Four Nations.
Four Nations tournament.
That's what it was.
Yeah. In case you missed it, I went on a massive Twitter rant after a drug Twitter rant after the Team USA hockey team lost to the championship.
You know what they say, drunk words or sober thoughts.
Yeah,
so you hate Canada.
For what it's worth, I deleted a lot of the tweets because I was asked to by my girlfriend and my boss. I stand by everything I said. I said Justin Trudeau is a loser. I said Canada is stupid. I said maple syrup isn't nearly as good as honey. Honey way better than maple syrup.
I feel like that's where we have to draw the line a little bit. Maple syrup's not that bad.
No, I'm not saying
we have to have a conversation.
Honey way better though. Honey way better. Rather have honey.
How about what you're using it for?
Having some fun with it. Courtney says Florida hasn't beaten a fully healthy team in the play. Courtney, I didn't realize you were a hockey fan like that. Courtney,
Jack of
we
all
might have to
trades.
be chopping it up about some puck later on.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, Queen Courtney is a jack of all trades. Alrighty, next segment, we're gonna get into some NFL storylines. Really quick, can you go to the weigh-in about the hats? I just want to get kind of the gauge here. She's a Bolts girl. Okay. Good to know, Courtney. Good to know. I'll never forgive the Tampa Bay Lightning for what they did to my Dallas Stars a few years ago in the Cup. Anyway, question for you. Would you buy a Saints Now hat? If I made hats available that had the Saints Now logo, they would be black with the white and gold logo smack dab in the front. Would you buy one? If yes, just type hat in the conversation. I'm trying to get a gauge here. I'm trying to get a gauge of who would be willing to get a Saints Now hat. If you don't want one, that's fine. Just say no. But if we made hats available, Dark Knight, what's going on, brother? If we made hats available, would you want one? Just type yes or just type hat or no. I see a bunch of yeses. Isaiah, what's going on, brother? He says, I'll take 2. Me, I need a hat from Warrior. Okay. Green Nation, King, Sonia, Warrior, let me get a hat. Queen Courtney says, yeah, with the bolts. Love it, Courtney. Kyron, Warrior, No Love Matt wants a hat. Smooth says 12. Cajun Cast says hat. Queen Courtney would want a hat. She'd want a hat to go with her polo. Queen Courtney, fun fact, the only recipient and the only viewer of Saints Now by Chat Sports other than me that has a Saints Now polo. So she could get a hat to match her polo. How much? No, we don't know yet. We haven't even mocked for what it's worth. I talked to my boss this morning and I said, hey, I see a bunch of Chat Sports channels have been getting hats. What would I have to do to get one? So we're going to mock a hat up. This is going to not be something that's available tomorrow by any means. It's going to be like a week or 2 weeks, maybe 3. But for sure during the football season, we'll have them. We'll probably have a few to possibly sell, just like a sample of like 10, 20 hats or something that we could potentially see who's interested in those. So for what it's worth, we're not giving away a hat today. We're not doing this right now, but I'm just trying to gauge interest if you would want a hat that says Saints Now. That's purely all this is are you interested and would you buy a hat that is Saints Now branded? That is the only question. Green Nation says it would be so fire. Nuriah says count me in. Hats for the fam from US Champ. Okay, so a lot of people saying yes. Jartavia says yeah. Okay, cool. Good to know. For what it's worth, I will keep you guys updated. Buddy Bear says I got a Knicks hat. Hey, you might need to get a Saints hat too to add to your collection there, Buddy Bear. For what it's worth, so change up the logo. Maybe the Saints logo with the Saints Now logo in the logo. Oh, that's cool, Queen Courtney. That's pretty cool. That'd be fun. For what it's worth, I will keep y'all updated. We'll put photos on the show whenever we get mock-ups. We'll let y'all be a process and a part of designing them too. I'm excited. I think this could be a really cool thing. Get some more merch out there. Get some more of our brand out there. Get more people to rep the show and rep the Golden Gang. Why not? I think that'd be cool. So I'm excited. We're going to see what happens here. But without further ado, let's get into some news, Lopez. Randy asking, did we get a super chat from him? Let me see. I don't have a Venmo. Huh? I don't have anything yet. Is it an old one, Randy? I can text. Okay. Oh, Randy texted me. Sorry. I'm replying to Randy. He texted me. Well, I got it figured out. We're good. Yeah, no, we're chilling. Maisha, what's going on, girl? Good to see you. Thank you for joining the show. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day, Maisha. Girouard saying he wants a hat. Sweet. No reason to trade our best wide receiver. Agreed, Exia. Yep, Byron, I'm with you. He ain't going nowhere. All righty. Let's get into some NFL news. So does that make sense for the script? We'll show all 4 things, and then we'll go into the reveal? Does that make sense? Cool. Yeah. All righty. So let's talk. Hold on. What did Maddie just... All right. Maddie's texting me about stuff for later tonight. I had to just make sure we're good. All right. Mind in Amaze is new to the channel. I love it. Who dat? Well, Mind in Amaze. Thank you for joining the Golden Gang. Thanks for joining the squad. Young City 9th Ward. Who dat to you as well. What's good to Saints Prods? Maisha. Thank you for tuning in. All righty. We're going to get into it. Saints news, NFL storylines to discuss. Girouard. Dude, we got all the legends in here, man. What's up, Girouard? What's going on, bro? All righty. Enough beat bopping around, Trace. Focus up. We got football to talk about. Let's do it. I wish y'all could see Lopez. He's dancing right now in my little screen where I can see him. It's hilarious. He's hitting a jig, in case you were curious. All righty. There you go. All right. You were what, dude? All righty. Let's get into it. Saints Now, NFL storyline coming at you. What's happening, Saints fans? We got a plethora, a news dump, a massive, massive update around the National Football League. A lot of things that have happened today around the NFL. And so we're going to go one by one and talk about how it impacts the New Orleans Saints, starting off with the playoff seeding. So in case you didn't know, the Detroit Lions, they were being soft for what it's worth, and they proposed that division winners should not get a home game. It should be based on the record. Ian Rappaport, he then reported without the necessary support, the playoff reseeding proposal is off the table, perhaps to be revisited for an 18-game season. So this did not even get voted on. And for what it's worth, this is a good thing for the Saints, and we're going to talk about it here in a second. And I'm going to give you like numbers and stuff to see it, but all in all, I think that this is a win for New Orleans, and maybe it's a little bit of loser talk, being like, well, you know, we stink, and so we won the division, we should still host a home playoff game. Like, sure, that can be true in one side of things. The other part of it can be true that it negatively, or it positively impacts some of the other teams that are much better, like the Chiefs, the Bills, the Eagles. Like, these are teams that aren't necessarily as worried about this rule like the Saints are. And I also, for what it's worth, think it's hilarious that the Lions of all teams propose this, considering they're now a good football team. But I want to just kind of hop in the time machine here real quick. If we take a look back at the last 5 NFC South champions, we will see how this new seeding would have panned out. So in 2024, again, all of these were the Bucs winning the division, F Tampa Bay. In 2024, the new seed would have been the 6th seed. The new seed in 2022, they just would have been out. In 2021, the number 2 seed, the number 4 seed in 2020. It's not the best thing for the top teams in the division because they just like it's less about the division and less about the NFC South, the NFC West, the NFC East. It hurts those teams at the top of the division and at the top of the conference more, but it helps those teams at the bottom. And look, this does benefit the Saints in the NFC South because this rule getting passed could potentially take away some of the value of your divisional games. So think about it this way. You could have a matchup against the Falcons, and it just is an important game. All you have to do is win it. That game doesn't mean more to winning than it does beating the Ravens. Like, it just doesn't make – it's not as big of a win because you're not putting yourself on top of the division to potentially win the NFC South, to potentially be rewarded for winning and get a home playoff game. This doesn't reward the division champions. And I honestly think that it's kind of silly. I would just say, I think when it comes down to winning the division, it should be rewarded. Most sports, at least to some form or fashion or in some way, do get rewarded whenever you win your division or your conference or whatever. So when it comes down to this, for me, I think that this is a thing that keep pushing it off, keep tabling it. Maybe at some point we have this discussion. But all in all, I think that the division rivalries are too important. I think that they provide way too much juice. And I also think that it's just not really something that we should be too worried about. Let's focus on getting to 8 to 9 to 10 wins first. And if you go back in time, remember, it was 8, 9, 10 wins that wins you the division, but maybe 8, 9, 10 wins isn't good enough to get you to the playoffs. So that's kind of the risk to the reward there. Now, for what it's worth, we will be live for every single Saints game, so be sure to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports. We go live throughout the offseason. We went live all 3 days of the NFL Draft. We went live during free agency. We go live every single week on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time, and then we'll be live all preseason games, all regular season games, hopefully all the postseason games, and maybe a Super Bowl run. So subscribe to Saints Now for 100% free content by Saints fans for Saints fans. All right, let's talk about the Olympics. USA, 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 USA. Really good news here. NFL players can start helping out with the Team USA flag football stuff. In case you didn't know, flag football has had a massive gain in popularity across the world, and now NFL owners have officially approved a resolution to allow their players to participate in the Olympics. The 2028 Summer Olympics is when this would start, so you got a handful of years before it happens. No teams voted against this. It's significant. It's pretty cool. I also think this is an interesting point. The NFL version of the Dream Team is coming, so we'd get to see our Madden worlds, or we'd get to see our fantasy football teams come to life, at least from a flag football perspective. in flag football. And in case you are unfamiliar with how Olympic flag football works, it's really exciting. It's really fun. I have had the opportunity to do some videography for some flag football in the past. Really, really exciting stuff. It's a 5-on-5 format, 10-man roster. I think it's 10 people on 5 offense, 5 defense, obviously. You have a quarterback, a center. It's not really a center, but a center, wide receiver, running back, rushers, DBs, and a safety. In terms of how the rules work, the field size, 70 by 25 yards, so a lot smaller than a National Football League field. You have 2 20-minute halves instead of 4 quarters. There's a 2-minute warning in the 2 halves. You also get 4 downs to reach midfield. It's not a first down every 10 yards. You get 4 yards to get halfway, or 4 downs to get halfway, and then 4 yards. Keep messing that up. 4 downs to get halfway, 4 downs to score a touchdown. And you also cannot run the ball within 5 yards of the end zone. So you can still run the football, kind of deep, or if you're trying to get a little bit of yardage to try and throw the ball into the end zone, but you can't do it when you're close to the end zone. And overtime, each team will be getting a possession. So when it comes down to the Olympic decision or the Olympic discussion, I figured a fun little exercise would be 1, what Saints players could be on the Olympic team, and 2, what is my personal Olympic team? For the Olympic Saints, this might ruffle feathers here. These are current players only. I'm going Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed. These 3 are very obvious here. Sheed, nobody in the league, very few people, I should say, can keep up with him step by step or step for step in terms of the speed aspect. Chris Olave, very underrated speed as well. He also is a very quality receiver. He can control his body in the air. He has all of the skills. Alvin Kamara, a very, very dynamic and good running back, but also receiving back. Justin Reed, I think, could be a really good communicator, and he could hold it down as a defensive back. And I threw Kool-Aid McKinstry in at corner because I think he's an athletic guy who can play some press coverage. And to be totally honest, he's the best cornerback, in my opinion, on the roster. I did almost make a case for Alontae Taylor, but I'm going to go Kool-Aid McKinstry. Alontae Taylor could also, for what it's worth, be a great rusher / DB guy in the middle. Now, for my Olympic team, here's what I would put out. I'm going my quarterback, Lamar Jackson. I want a versatile guy who can run the football when somebody rushes, or he can toss the pill when need be. He can also move around to get some time, make some space and whatnot. Jahmyr Gibbs, I really, really like him. He is the running back that I decided to roll with. I would have made a case for Alvin Kamara, but hey, I went with Jahmyr Gibbs, a little bit younger, might be a little bit more athletic. No shocks around the wide receiver room. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. We went Malik Neighbors, the LSU legend over here, in case you guys didn't or were unaware of that. He could be a really, really good wide receiver in the National Football League. Alternate I would have made here is A.J. Brown, just a big-bodied possession guy I think would be beneficial. Micah Parsons, I ran with the rusher. I almost went with Fred Warner because I think he could be really good in the middle as well in coverage too. But I also think if you're going to have him just be a pure rusher, Nolan Smith might not be a bad one. Travis Hunter, a versatile guy who can do both, who can play both sides of the football. He'll have a couple years of experience under his belt by the time the Olympics roll around. Pat Surtain, Derek Stingley, also names that I wanted to throw out there. Christian Gonzalez was another name that I also like. He's actually been an ambassador for flag football in the National Football League. I had the opportunity to speak with him in New Orleans during the Super Bowl week. They had a glow-in-the-dark flag football tournament, the first ever of its kind, and it was really, really cool getting to see him, Tyrann Mathieu, Demario Davis, a lot of those guys out there advocating for the game. Daryl Doucette was also out there, the flag football Team USA quarterback that said he was better, that Mahomes couldn't play with him, whatever. Kyle Hamilton, another defensive back that I would have thrown into that conversation as well. So there's just a fun little conversation there. But I want to ask you this. Which Saints players should be on Team USA? I think the 5 that I said is fair. More the 3, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, maybe Alvin Kamara, maybe it's Justin Reed, maybe it's Demario Davis. Could be an interesting one. What do you think? Get down in the comment section. And also, if you guys want to scroll down to the comments and share your thoughts, we have links available for Saints jerseys. Get yours today. Chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. We have home jerseys. We have away jerseys. We have everything in between. If you want some gear for the New Orleans Saints, this is the place to get it. Chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. Men, women, children's sizes, whatever you want, we got you covered. Order it right here. It's nice quality stuff from Fanatics. Chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. Now let's talk about the Tush Push ban, because unfortunately for the Packers, it's not going anywhere. Fortunately for the Eagles and Eagles fans, and to be totally honest, Saints fans, the Tush Push remains alive. Diana Rossini saying that the Packers' proposal to ban the Tush Push did not receive the required 75% support from the NFL owners to pass. So the Tush Push will be back around. For what it's worth, the Saints did vote for the Tush Push. They did not vote against it. They vote to keep it around. And I don't think that's a very surprising thing at all, considering Kellen Moore, he's the Saints head coach. He just won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. They went on and used the Tush Push quite a bit, and they found success there. So I do think that Kellen Moore could potentially try. I don't think he'll succeed off the rip, but he could try to implement the Tush Push in New Orleans. It's something we haven't quite seen yet, at least at a consistent level. And I think that Taysom Hill should have been a big part of that. Unfortunately, he will not be available until late October. The other part of it, too, that I think is interesting is that I think if you have Tyler Shough in there, he is a bigger quarterback. You just have to get the offensive line down. That's really where things in this play is won and lost, is in the trenches. It also helps when Jalen Hurts can squat 600 pounds. So that's why I say Taysom Hill would be perfect in this. So I do expect Kellen Moore to try to implement the Tush Push. For me, I'm indifferent on the play. I understand why people hate it. Like, I'm kind of just like, I get it. Like, I can see both sides of it. Two things can be true. One, it's not a football play. Like, it's not. It's more rugby than anything. It's just not football. It's simply not. If you disagree, that's okay. Let's agree to disagree. You can try and convince me in the comments, but I'm just here to tell you, Tush Push is not football. It's more rugby than anything. But on the other hand, figure out how to stop it. Like, it's kind of a two-way street. One, I don't think it should be penalized so many times that eventually you just get a touchdown, and that's just that. But I also think, like, if it's such a problem, learn how to stop it. Draft guys that in the trenches. Focus on building that thing. Focus on trying to learn how to counter that play. I get both sides of this conversation. One, I hate it. Two, I think it's a good play. It shows off a high football IQ. It's taking advantage of holes in the rule book and gray areas. That's fine. If you can have an advantage, you can find an advantage, then okay. Shame on other teams for not thinking of it first, to be totally honest. Like, I honestly have to ask, do you hate the Tush Push, or do you hate that the Eagles are so good at running it? I think that's the fair thing to ask, because other teams, not that good at it. Now, other news around the National Football League. Two things here. One, there will now be an award for the best offensive lineman. So shout out to Jari Evans. He would have won like 50 of them things. And shout out to Trevor Penning, who will win 50 of them things. That's a joke. Diana Rossini saying also that in terms of special teams, we got an update around there. NFL owners have passed a rule change that would allow teams to declare onside kicks at any point during a game if they are trailing. This is different than what it was in the past, where you could only do it, in the fourth quarter, and it was only if you were down, and it was only like the last 2 minutes or something. It was really weird. It was like oddly specific, and it kind of ruined onside kicks. Onside kicks. That's what we're trying to land on. So this kick will also be from the 34 instead of 35. I don't know how much of an impact that makes, but it does. And there you go. So that's the new rules around the National Football League. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of news that impacts the New Orleans Saints. A lot of news that impacts the entire league. So there you have it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I want to ask you this question here. If you stuck around, I want to reward you. Because, fun fact, I talked to the bosses. We are in the process of designing some Saints Now hats. If you would buy one, we don't have a price yet. We don't have a design yet. We're working on it. But it would be a black hat. It would have our Saints Now logo. It would be gold and white, and it would look fresh as hell. If you would buy a hat, just type hat in the comment section. If you wouldn't, either just ignore it or just say I wouldn't buy one. But I just want to see if people are interested in potentially getting some channel merch. This is the first time we've ever had channel merch potentially available for y'all, and I want to see if you guys would be interested in picking up some. Saints fans, thank you all so much for tuning in to today's video. Be sure to subscribe for more updates around the black and gold. As always, my name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. That's producer Loco Lopez. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time. Booyah! King Williams, no, it's not just a quarterback sneak. It is not just a quarterback sneak, fun fact. It's actually a very complicated play. The offensive line has to crash in at a specific way, and they have to fall in a certain path. Like there's like a literal science to making the Tush Push work. it's actually insane. Like, go on. I can't remember who had it, but I went on YouTube a couple days ago, and I was just on a flight, downloaded a few videos. I was like, screw it, whatever. And I was looking at the Tush Push stuff, and it was explaining like how it actually works. It was like a 15, 20-minute video of like all the things that have to go right for it to be successful. It's actually insane. Like, you have to have one, it has to be like the offensive line lines up in a certain way. They like the center and the two interior guys have to crash down in a certain way. Everyone has to, so these guys crash in, these guys crash outwards, and then you're also trying to stack the pile and get them down and kind of push, and that's where you have the quarterback behind, and then you actually get the second nudge when you really get the yardage from the running back and or the other, tight end, lineman, receiver, whatever, who gets behind and kind of pushes you into the gap. Like, you're not even pushing them straight through it. You have to push them into the gap and into the way that the thing falls. It's actually super, super interesting how it works. But yeah, there's my TED Talk on the Tush Push, so hope you enjoy it. All righty. Chris Rhodes would buy a hat. Arvin would buy a hat. Maisha, Dark Knight, Kimberly, all would buy hats. Okay, cool. Oh, fun fact! We don't have a graphic for this, but who here, show of hands, watches James Skrmetta or is a part of the Skrmetaverse? Just curious. Show of hands. Because fun fact, next Tuesday, next week, we will be live with James. We're going to be doing a live interview with the guy. Very, very excited for it. We're going to be doing on the 28th. Yep, on the 28th, 6 p.m. Central Time. We will do a live show. Him and I are just going to be chopping it up, talking ball. Nothing too crazy, but we're going to be having some fun content. So if you guys go tune into James' stuff later, I highly encourage you to do that, first of all. Secondly, get in the comments, say, hey, bro, I'm pumped to see you line up with Trizzy Trace. I'm excited to see the content. It's going to be fun. So we're going to be having some fun with James. He does a great job. He's a grinder, works really, really hard. I like to think I work really hard, and I'm a grinder as well. So it should lead to some awesome content here for y'all, the viewers of Saints Now by Chat Sports. Hold on. Dude, so I didn't realize that Cam Ward was a 0-star recruit. And now he's the number 1 overall pick, and he just agreed to a 4-year, $48 million fully guaranteed contract. It would be so cool to make $40 million. That would be so cool. I don't think I'll see $40 million in my lifetime.
I don't even need to do it multiple times. I just need one contract.
Dude, give me just the signing bonus, $32 million. Like, here's the thing. You could pay me $30 million, and I would fuck the fuck off, and I wouldn't even think about it.
I'd do whatever you want for $32 million.
Dude, $32 million, you could tell me to eat dog shit. I'd be like,
how much?
Okay, fine. Give me the $32 million. If I get 20 of that up front, sure. I will lick the white dog shit. Step Brother style.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, so we'll have me and James doing an interview here on Saints Now by Chat Sports next week. I hope you guys are excited for it. 6 p.m. Central Time on the 28th. So 1 week from today. 6 p.m. Central Time. Normally we go live at 4. We'll probably go live about 5 p.m., do our 2 segments, and then do the interview with him and just go. That'll probably just be the easiest thing. And I don't think you're going to be with me. I think it's going to be Jack. So you won't have to worry about it. Whip. Who knows? Anyway, we're going to have fun. It's going to be me. It's going to be James Skrmetta. And we're going to be talking ball. Alrighty. Let's get into a mailbag. Lopez, how are we looking on questions?
Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we got 22. I have not read all or most of them.
Okay, so we need more. We definitely need more. If you guys have a question, #Saints or Super Chat. If you don't send one in, then we don't have content. That's kind of how this works. You guys get to dictate it. You guys get to control the show. I'm just simply the voice of the show. You guys get to script it. You guys get to tell me what we talk about. And this is kind of like a fun thing that we do. A lot of other podcasts and stuff have done these as well. We've been doing it for a long, long time, though. So if you guys want to get your questions in, OG mailbags, use #Saints or Super Chat. Super Chatting skips the line, and we spend a little bit extra time on it. Of course, you do not have to send in a Super Chat, but we greatly appreciate those of you who do.
We do have a couple good questions, especially around Saints receivers. So I hope you're prepared to talk about Saints receivers.
Dude, Randy is a legend.
Is there something that we have to get or do?
Huh?
Is there something we're gonna have to do?
No. So he's working on. He was trying to send in a super chat, and he's having some technical difficulties. And he said, "I'm gonna call my bank and give him a piece of my mind." And I was like, "Dude, I'm like, you're a legend." He goes, "Yeah, bro. I worked way too hard for this bullshit
That's
to be
a
going
fucking
on."
bar
I'm like,
right there.
"Damn, you're a legend."
Let
You're
me
a
call
legend.
the bank and let me tell them what I think.
Let me
Speaking of super
let me
chats,
give him a
though,
piece of my mind. And speaking of super chats, Dark Knight! What's going on, brother? $10 super chat. Water cheers for Michelle. If we get anything of 50 or higher, we'll drink out a beer.
there's a loco in the fridge still, guys. There's one loco.
If we get a $200 super chat, $300 super chat, Lopez will chug a loco. Don't do that. Don't send in a super chat to make him chug a loco.
Do it.
Don't do that.
Do it.
If you want to, I can't tell you how to spend your money. If you want to do that, fine. If you don't,
I was bragging about y'all the other day when I went.
Oh, you were?
What
were you bragging about?
I was at LSU for graduation. Some people were like, "So, Nick, what do you do now?"
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
I drink 4 Locos with my friends.
I get paid to talk sports and I drink locos.
I drink 4 Locos with Saints fans. It's electric. That's hysterical. Dark Knight, we're getting to your question here momentarily. We have we just got to let the software update here.
The links aren't working. Sorry, Dark Knight. We're getting that though.
All right. Have a question, hashtag Saints or super chat. Sweet. Alrighty. Big CJ. Got you, my friend. Got you. You're going to be in it. And then, did that super chat load? Oh, you're good. You're Gucci. You're Gucci. We're getting to it in 1 second, Dark Knight. Our software is giving us some bullshit, if you will. Oh, by the way, happy birthday to Saints legend Ricky Williams. It is his birthday today. Everyone type HBD to Ricky Williams. Saints legend. Nariah. Actually, we are hiring. Fun fact, we actually are hiring. Here. If you guys are interested in joining the Chat Sports family, I'm going to send you the link to our jobs. I'm going to drop the link to our jobs here in the chat. We are hiring, and we're looking for more people to join this family here. For what it's worth, got to be willing to work hard, got to be willing to come in on your days off, got to be willing to hang out and talk ball and be an absolute grinder. But we work hard, we have a lot of fun, and it is a very rewarding, very enjoyable job. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Yes, we are hiring. So there's the link in the chat. If you have experience, you got an upper edge. If you don't, that's okay. I didn't have any YouTube experience when I got hired. I was a hospitality management major when I got hired. It helps that I had a degree in communications and I had some social media experience. But for what it's worth, we are hiring. Nobody is out of the pool. Nobody is too underqualified. Nobody's too overqualified. So if you want to throw your name in on the ring and put your name in the hat, 100% recommend it. We would love to expand our family here to more Saints fans. Too many Cowboys fans here, Lopez. Oh, by the way, the one Falcons fan just quit, so that's hilarious. We can L dance on them. We can L dance on them. Alrighty, Dark Knight. It's all good. Not much of a question, but I've ordered a signed Tyler Shough rookie card. That's sick. That's actually badass, Dark Knight. I have on my desk, it's not signed, Jack Lauderay, he is one of the producers here at Chat Sports. He's really into card collecting and stuff as well. And he was at a card show, and he found a Spencer Rattler rookie card that had like a piece of a jersey in there. So he gave that to me, which was pretty sick. That's badass, dude. Dark Knight, whenever you get it, send me a picture of it, and we'll put it on the show, man. I'd love to see it whenever you get it in the mail. Fabe just watched Tyler highlights, and then he thought he ran the RPO well, more athletic than I thought. Yeah, look, Tyler Shough is not. Two things. He's not the greatest thing to ever happen to football. He also might be more underrated or he might be better than people are giving him credit for. So we'll have to see. It's all about. I think two things I think a quarterback and a team. It's a two-sided equation. One side of it, the player has to be good. He has to execute. He has to be prepared. He has to do things right. He has to do his part of it. But the team also needs to do their part of it, put pieces around him, have a competent coaching staff, have a plan in place. Like, those are the things that you need to have. So I'm kind of in the camp of give Tyler Shough time. Let's see what he's capable of doing. The first year may not be sunshine and rainbows, but we'll get there. We'll get there one day. That's what's important. All righty. How are we looking, brother? Okay, cool. You're good. Lopez getting things set from his side of things. If you haven't already, use hashtag Saints or send in a super chat, and we'll get you on the show. We're about to get into our mailbag where we're going to be answering questions from Saints fans, and we're going to be responding to hot takes. It's going to be me and Lopez just chopping it up, having a good old time, as we tend to do. We tend to have. Yeah, we tend to do these things. So, Saints fans, you guys have questions, we got answers, and we're going to answer them here on our mailbag. Let me get my timer up, and I am ready when you are. Rady, by the way, if you just texted me, you know. No shit! Hold on, Randy just texted me. I'm not sure if you saw it. In 2026, Randy and his brother are coming to New Orleans to watch a game at the Dome. That would be so sick. He wants to see if you and Maddie want to come join us. Dude. Oh my God. Could you imagine kicking it with Randy for the weekend? Big ballin' with Randy all weekend long, dude. Oh, it'd be electric. Holy shit, we'd have to pack locos. That might put Maddie's in the chat. I'm so there, Randy. That might put Randy on his ass. And I'll tell you what, I've talked to Randy on the phone a handful of times. This guy's a tank. This guy's a freaking
That's what we need.
He's a monster. A Four Loko might do it to him, though. That might.
Okay, a Four Loko's gotten everybody at some point.
For what it's worth, everyone has had a Four Loko.
Four Lokos are undefeated.
Sorry, let me respond to Randy here. Huh? Yeah. No, we wouldn't be able to just go on a trip. We'd have to do content out there. We'd have to do content. That being said, we'd get to do content with Randy, which would be sick. Dark Knight says he's never personally consumed a Four Loko. Dark Knight, I would keep it that way. Keep it that way. Unless there's a night where you're just having a tough night and you're like, you know what? I want to catch a buzz for $3.
Keep it that way.
That's what Four Lokos are good for, a cheap buzz. Perfect for college students.
Unless you want to become addicted.
If you're 21. Huh?
Unless you want to become addicted, don't drink one.
Yeah, don't drink Four
great.
Lokos. Don't drink Four Lokos.
They're phenomenal.
And honestly, I'm convinced it's actual butane in there, and you're just putting lighter fluid in your body. Like, it's horrible. Okay. Dude. If we could pull off a trip with Randy, that would be so sick. That would be so sick. Alrighty. Yeah, Big CJ, Four Loko era was crazy. Yeah, Dark Knight says his alcohol tolerance is terrible. Don't do it. Do not get a Four Loko. It's not worth it. For what it's worth, real ones know the Four Loko Gold could stop a large elephant's heart. Yes. For what it's worth, they used to be stronger somehow. And then the FDA, oh, that's what it was. They had caffeine, and then the FDA said, yeah, we need to cut that out. We need to get that figured out. All righty. Randy is a freaking legend. Shout out to him for texting me. We're going to get into a mailbag. Y'all have questions. We got answers. Austin, thank you for keeping the chat lighthearted. Thanks for sending that. That's a funny message. Real ones know that Four Loko Golds could stop a large elephant's heart. My drink of choice in college was Four Loko Golds. Again, $3, get a buzz. You could nurse it. Or it was perfect for the pregame because then by the time you got to the actual party, you could just kill beers and you were just like, you're already sitting pretty. So, or you could do what I did one night, drink 2 Four Lokos and take 4 shots of vodka and then throw up all over a bathroom. That's also an option. Could do that too. You didn't? Oh, no sunflower seeds? See, I honestly think, okay, this is disgusting. I'm sorry. Last time we drank, it's just a bad idea to drink Four Lokos. But I almost would say when you're drunk puking, it's almost worse when you have nothing in you than when you actually have something to throw up. Because I'm in the camp of like, you get it out and you're like, oh, thank God, I feel so much better. Dude, when you're driving, it's top 3 worst things. It's like up there with hitting your funny bone. It sucks. And brain freezes. Terrible. Exactly. Elijah says he shotgunned a Four Loko and never again. I have a video, dude. I don't know where it is. I'd have to find it and I'll put it on the show sometime. I have a video. So I went to Arkansas. God, here we go. Here I am telling stories about the good old days. When I was in college at Arkansas, one of my fraternity brothers, that was like his thing. He was like an amateur bodybuilder. Dude was jacked, ate like 8,000 calories a day or something. He was in the best shape I've ever seen a human being be. And his party trick was that he would shotgun Four Lokos in like 8 seconds. Like it was disgusting. And so I have a video of him doing this at Girouard. So Texas A&M and Arkansas would play a game every year at the Cowboys Stadium. And it's really funny because I have him shotgunning the Four Loko. 30 minutes later, I have a video of him throwing the football. And an hour after that, I have a picture of him on the back of a golf cart for the EMTs because he broke his ankle. And they were like, hey, have you drank anything today? Because apparently you can't give certain, that makes sense. You can't give certain pain medicine if you have had alcohol in your system. And he was like, yeah, I've had a couple of drinks, whatever. He's like, okay, well, that sucks. You're not getting any pain meds. We're gonna have to raw dog this. And he literally looked over to my buddy who was a pledge. He goes, hey, bring me that. And the doctor looks at him and he's like, he's like, are you serious? And he's like, are you giving me pain medicine? And he was like, no. He's like, then bring it on over. And he slammed it. And as he's walking by, he goes, not a bad I get it. That's fair. Like, if you're going to be dealing with it, you might as well at least feel good about it. Insane stuff. All right, let's get back on track here. Mailbag coming up. Enough Loco talk. Lopez, shut up, man. I know, it's been a while. We haven't had to we're making up for lost time. We have a lot of tomfoolery and a lot of beat bopping around to catch up on. All right, mailbag coming up right now. Let's talk it. Let's answer questions. Let's respond to hot takes. Let's ride. Hold on. Let me make sure I have yeah, cool. We're chilling. And let's party. Saints fans have questions. Me and my guy, Loco Lopez, have answers. Welcome into this edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. We are going to be answering questions in our live mailbag, our live Q&A. That's a part of our weekly Wednesday live show, 4 p.m. Central Time. So join us if you haven't before. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of great conversations, and you also get to take an inside look at our Saints content before it gets posted on the channel. Really quickly, though, if you haven't already, hit your boy up on social media. I'm almost at 2,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm almost at 5,000 on Twitter. So hit me up on all 3 of these platforms if you want Saints content. I post every single day. Doesn't matter if I'm out of town. You also get to see what I got going on in my daily life. Me, my beautiful girlfriend, Maddie, my awesome dog, Dude, my family, and, of course, everything in between. So hit your boy up on social media. Feel free to send me a DM. I love chopping it up around the Saints. Simply Archive, first question. Should the Saints sign Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper? Yeah, I'm down. I would love if the New Orleans Saints went to sign one of these 2 players. They have been linked to Amari Cooper in the past. I'm not going to sit here and say this is like they've had a visit, but other blogs out there have also said this would be a good idea. I've talked about it on the show. This would be a good idea. I think for one of these two players specifically, it fills a need of a big-bodied possession receiver that could be beneficial as a veteran in a young wide receiver room. Lopez, what do you think on this?
I think adding a veteran receiver like a Keenan Allen and Amari Cooper is something that the Saints very much benefit from. I know some of the talks recently have been, let's trade Chris Olave.
Sure.
What's that solving? It's kind of like a Steelers situation. We only had one receiver in George Pickens. Yep. We trade for DK Metcalf. We trade George Pickens. Yeah. It's like you're not moving anywhere.
Yeah, you're going left and right. You're not going forward or back.
But going back to this, I think a number 2 receiver, they need one.
Yep.
Especially, they are going to be a younger team. Chris Olave is still a young receiver at this point. He can learn from somebody like a Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And the other thing to talk about, too, is if you sign them, it's not like you need these guys to be 1,000-yard players. Sign them, they get you 700, 800 yards. That's a great year.
Yeah.
It's a really good year for these players. So, I will say also this, with Keenan Allen, he does have familiarity with Kellen Moore. One of the best seasons in Keenan Allen's career came whenever Kellen Moore was the offensive coordinator of the Chargers. So there is ties there, and there's familiarity with the offensive scheme. So maybe that one makes sense. I could see the Saints going and bringing in Keenan Allen, but I would 100% bring in one of these two players. I'm all in for it. If you agree with me, like the video or type in the comment section, share your thoughts. All right, which one of these is you? Which one of these are you? Which number are you? Are you number 1 or are you number 10? Well, number 1 through 5 or 6 have all been caught. So I know this guy isn't the one that was on Instagram Live, and I know this one that wasn't asleep on a bench in the French Quarter. So you're still out there on the run. That is really funny. Who do you think starts more games this season? Tyler Shough or Spencer Rattler? I think Tyler Shough will start more games. If the question was who will be the starting quarterback week 1, my answer would be I don't know. But I think for this one, who will start more games next season, it's going to be Tyler Shough. Kellen Moore handpicks that quarterback. This doesn't mean that Spencer Rattler is on the outside looking in. I just think for Rattler specifically, he is fighting an uphill battle, and ultimately his leash will be short. So whether it's a leash on the front end of the season in the first few games, a leash in the midway part of the season, or at the end of the season, it will be a short leash nonetheless, also depending on how Tyler Shough pans out. Lopez, I'm curious what you think on this one.
First of all, shout out to Ethan in the live chat. He said, I got money on Derek. I think a couple of us in the office actually have money on Derek.
We have a pool on this.
Derek might be the number 1 guy.
We have 100% an office pool, and I definitely think we're going to win it, Lopez.
Now, I do kind of agree with you. Shough is going to be the guy that will get the majority of the snaps for the Saints. But I don't think it's crazy to say that Spencer Rattler can see himself in 6, 7, 8 games.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy.
For sure. I think it's totally fair to say first 5, 6 weeks, it's Rattler. And then after that, it's Tyler Shough. Or maybe it's a few weeks of Rattler, and then it's Shough, and then we go back to Rattler at the end of the season. Those very well could happen. I think, though, my answer for this is Tyler Shough will start more games. So I want to ask you the question, and Lopez and I want to get your thoughts. What do you think? Who has the most starts in 2025? TS, SR, or other? If you think it's going to be Jake Haener, Hunter Deckers, or maybe a wild card like Jameis Winston, Aaron Rodgers, something like that. Carson Wentz, Tyler Huntley. Let me know in the comment section or down below. Alrighty, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling. More questions, more hot takes here from the Golden Gang live on Saints Now by Chat Sports. Baby O, thoughts on people clowning us for drafting Tyler over Shedeur? Well, the same team in the same fan bases that are clowning us for passing on Shedeur also passed on Shedeur 5 times. We're no different than any other team. We're no different than any other team that took a quarterback instead of Shedeur Sanders. Jalen Milroe, whatever. I also don't think he's that great of a thrower of the football. For the love of God, the Browns took Dylan Gabriel 2 rounds before they took Shedeur. So to my response and my thoughts on people clowning us, I get it. Shedeur's the bigger name, whatever. My response is just tell me you don't know ball. Tell me you haven't actually been paying attention to what's been going on. There's a reason he fell. There's no background. There's no hidden reason. There's no collusion going on. There's a good reason why Shedeur Sanders was not drafted early. The league views him not as a starter. That doesn't mean he won't be, but as of now, coming out of the draft process and during the draft process, Shedeur was not very highly viewed. So that's just how it is. I don't think people, I think the people clowning us are just idiots. And I get it. Tyler Shough isn't nearly as illustrious of a player as Shedeur, but look, any team that wants to make fun of the Saints for drafting a quarterback instead of Shedeur can also laugh at themselves for drafting another player over Shedeur or drafting a quarterback themselves over Shedeur. So, no, I think it's stupid. It's ridiculous. Sid Different, do you think the Saints should consider trading Kendre Miller? I mean, not right now. My answer is not right now. Maybe in the future. Let's go through the training camp process. Let's go through OTAs. Let's get through the preseason, and let's see what happens. Because for me, I wouldn't just outright cut Kendre Miller. I don't think it makes sense. But the question that I have for Lopez is, what do you think the market would be? Considering he's only played in like 19 games throughout his career. He hasn't played a lot of football. What do you think a trade would, like, do you think that trade would even, A, happen, or B, like, do you think that the Saints should consider it? Like, I'm kind of in the camp of, let's see how Devin Neal and Kendre Miller compete with one another, and then we can go from there. But I'm also like, I don't know if I need to move off of Kendre Miller yet.
I think if a trade were to happen, it would probably be around as early as trade deadline. Say a number one RB goes down, or a team's just not getting production from
They need,
running
just
back
need to get a
depth.
lot of juice.
Yeah, like look at the Cowboys. They don't have a solid running back still. They're one injury away from saying, let's go and find someone that has some potential. So I think if that's the case, because if the Saints aren't competing come trade deadline time, they could look to get off Kendre Miller and kind of buy in more to Devin Neal, because I think that was one of our biggest steals of the draft.
Sure. 100%. I totally agree with you. I love Devin Neal. I think it's going to be a really exciting player. I think that is a real running back competition, so we'll have to see what happens. Really quick, I want to encourage you to subscribe to Saints Now. We're going to give you an updated look here at the sub battle, the race to 50K. For what it's worth, I want to tell you something. We're losing. It's not great. I'm not happy. I'm not excited about it. Browns report, Matthew Peterson, no shade to him, but he is no longer going to be hosting the Browns report, and somehow they might beat us to 50K. Are you kidding me? Look, we were beating the Browns report Wednesday before I went out of town. I get back on Monday, we're down by like 20 or 30. Oh, that's fine, whatever. Now we're down by over 100. So I'm going to need you to kick it into high gear. I'm going to need your help, Saints fans. If you're still watching this video, we're doing something right. So hit the sub button, lock us in, free Saints content by fans, for fans. This is your one-stop shop for all things New Orleans Saints. Lock us in and subscribe to Saints Now today. Alrighty, let's... Oh my God, that's so good, dude. Oh my God. I'm sorry. That broke me. Holy cow. Dirty little studs. Holy cow. That's funny, man. That's funny. Who outside of the quarterback battle are you most watching with OTA starting? I'm watching that dirty little stut right there. Danny Stutzman for sure. I'm keeping my eyes on. Other OTAs I'm watching, I want to see the wide receiver group. I want to see if they truly believe they need to add another receiver. Running back, that's one that I'm looking for. The Kendre Miller and Devin Neal competition will be very real. I'm excited, probably mostly to watch the defensive line, though. You got a new coach in Bo Davis, new scheme under Brandon Staley, a lot of new juice, not in terms of players, but you got guys that are back, like Chase Young. You have the potential to see something entirely different just purely based off of the schematic change. So I'm really, really excited to see the defensive line. I'm excited to see the running back battle. I'm excited to see how the wide receivers kind of pan out. Dirty little studs. That is just tremendous. All righty, really quick. Before we continue answering questions and responding to hot takes, got to give a big-time shout-out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is none other than Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. You can test your ball knowledge and put it to the test and win real cash in real time. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to $2,000 your cash. Won your game all season long on Prize Picks and cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. The finals are right around the corner, but there's still a lot of basketball action on the hardwood that you can put money down and get money back. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to your Prize Picks lineup. Now, for me personally, I'm not a hoops guy, but I love me some hockey. And I'm a Dallas Stars fan through and through. Grew up in the city of Dallas, and so I'm rooting for Jake Ottinger, Matt Duchene, Miro Heiskanen, and Mikko Rantanen to go ahead and bring Lord Stanley back to Dallas, but I'm taking Jake Ottinger on the more for his saves. Matt Duchene, the more on his points, the less on Connor McDavid's. And this video will be going out over the weekend, so I'm excited to come back and revisit these projections, see how they panned out, see if I ended up making some money. You guys can fade these picks, you can tail these picks, or do whatever you want, and make sure you do it with Prize Picks. They don't just have hockey and basketball, they have football, they have college sports, they have professional sports, esports as well. So be sure to sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. Download Prize Picks. The app is amazing. You can use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get that $50 bonus when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the bonus. It's fully guaranteed. Shout out to Prize Picks. Run your game. All that information is clickable in the comments and description of this video. Jaden Barden, who are your sleeper players for the Saints this year? Hold on. I have graphics for this. Let me pull it up here. I'm not going to move them over, but I just want to see who I had listed as breakout players. So sleeper players and breakout players kind of different, but sleeper players, I agree with you on Juwan Johnson. Jaden saying sleepers, Juwan Johnson, I think people are sleeping on him too much because I think he got overpaid. I actually disagree with you, Jaden. I don't think he got overpaid at all. I think people are looking at the $30 million contract for 3 years and being like, holy shit, you gave Juwan Johnson that kind of money. Those are the people who don't know ball. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I think with Juwan Johnson, his contract is actually very, very average and honestly kind of on the lower to middle average side of things for contracts. More breakout players. Rashid Shaheed, I think, is one because he is a name that us Saints fans know and love, but I think he could really, really take over and put an entire season together this year. Chase Young has yet to have a double-digit sack season, so I think that he's a player to keep an eye on, especially with this new defense that we've talked about. Kendre Miller, if he can win that running back 2 battle, I think he's a player that could break out and be a sleeper. And I'll also say Kool-Aid McKinstry. It's going to be the first year where he's going in as a starting cornerback. Saints traded up to get him in round 2 last year. I'm excited to see what happens with year 2 of Kool-Aid McKinstry. AK Enjoyer, what are some of your biggest Saints cut candidates? Ooh, that's a good one. Cut candidates this offseason. Let me see here. So for cut candidates, I know that I said Kendre Miller could be a breakout. I also think Kendre Miller, by that same token, could be a cut candidate potentially. But I would honestly hold on to him and try to trade him. I'll say the same thing about Trevor Penning too. I think that he could get cut. I think you just keep him and let him play out the contract and maybe move off from him. Isaiah Foskey is definitely a name to watch out for, the edge rusher out of Notre Dame. Very productive for the Fighting Irish, has not had virtually any production for the Saints and being drafted in the second round a couple of years ago. I'll also add Colin Saunders to the mix because you traded for Devon Godshaw. You drafted Vernon Broughton, so maybe he's a player that's on the outside looking in. Cedric Wilson could also be a player. And hot take, I'll give you a really, really hot take here. What about Jake Haener? Maybe Hunter Deckers actually beats him out as the QB3, and Haener gets cut, gets brought back to the practice squad. We'll have to see what happens there. Alrighty, Saints fans, thank you guys so much for rocking and rolling with us. Friendly reminder to sub today for Saints content every day. I'm a diehard Saints fan, and my pledge to you, hand to God, I promise to continue to give you the best Saints content out there. I promise to give you nothing but real and honest conversations, and I promise that I will give you everything I got. Saints fans, y'all stay golden. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time. Booyah. Was that Prize Picks the first half? I feel like it was.
Maybe close.
If it wasn't, it's fine. It's fine. If we have to do something afterwards, we can. It'll be fine. All righty, Saints fans. We'll go we'll go quick, 2 minutes, see before we hop on out of here. 2 minutes. Last chances to get super chats, questions, hot takes in. Lone Star Fox says, "Who dat? Great stream." Oh, thank you, Lone Star Fox. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you for showing some love. Jaden, yep, you did have some awesome questions in there. Mr. Louisiana says, "Our wide receivers are good." Yeah. Dude, you got Big Easy believing too. He goes, "Ha ha ha ha." Now that's a nickname. Dirty little Stutz. That is so good. That was so funny. Whoever that was in the chat, you won. You won.
Put it on a jersey.
Yeah, for sure. Put on a T-shirt, dude. Oh my God, I need a T-shirt of like the outline of his face with his mustache. It just says "Dirty Little Stutz."
I think we need.
Or "I love Stutz."
We need to talk to the bosses.
I want T-shirts. Would you buy a T-shirt that says "I heart Stutz"? Like the I heart NYC. I heart Stutz. That's so good. For the hat, we can sign it. We can sign them and then mail them away. But if you just want a hat, just straight up, that's not autographed. I also understand that. So, yeah, we can do either one. Totally up to you, Bruce. If you want it, you can have it. Live with James Skrmetta next week, next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time is when he'll be joining. We'll go live probably about 4:30 or 5 just to be live, make sure we're squared away, and then we'll have James pop in and hang out with us for a little bit. The other option that we might have is we don't do a live before James comes on, and we just crank out VODs before and then just do the thing with him live on YouTube. Because I don't know if it makes sense to do like a 3-hour live show just for the sake of doing it. I feel like I don't know. Anyway, I'm thinking out loud. Saints fans, you have 10 seconds to keep us live. Super chats, #Saints. Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. If we don't get any more engagement, then we're going to go ahead and sign off. No problem if you haven't. We've had some pretty good engagement today so far. If you guys missed it, they're going to be on the channel today. We're actually about to put out the video around the NFL news that impacts the New Orleans Saints. We also discussed trade rumors around Chris Olave and also the potential of moving on from Trevor Penning. That video will go out tomorrow morning, and then our mailbag that we just finished up will be going out this weekend. So Who Dat Nation, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking and rolling with us. Jaden, US Champ, Queen Courtney, Randy, Dark Knight, Lone Star Fox, Carl, Ethan, all of you legends, Braden as well. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.